Hey there everybody. So this is a bike I was working on the other day, doing a little 1x conversion, and luckily it's a DT350 hub, so these are pretty easy to swap over to a like an Eagle system, Sram Eagle with a XD driver. So anyway, this is the cassette that we're going to be putting on. It's a 10 for the small cog, 50 to the big cog, and you can see just how different it is. That's just a Shimano, I believe it's 1134 on a standard free hub body there. So we're going to be swapping it over. There's the XD driver, which allows you to use that 10 tooth small cog there. It's 12 speed cassette, and got two end caps there that go with a little conversion kit. So yeah, just go through all the steps here to convert that thing over. And first step, we're going to just be removing the old cassette here. Got our little lock ring tool, backing that off. You can use a chain whip, or this is a Pedro's tool that just locks into that first position cog. Honestly, I really like the Unior tool. That I used that for a year or two or so, but a little bit of a sticky cassette, ended up getting that off. So at this point, probably the best method I found is to use like a set of soft jaws. This is a Park version that has several different openings there, so you want to just kind of find the one that's going to fit the end cap there the best. And you want to be able to get that thing in there, get a really nice purchase, get maximal amount of contact area there, clamp it down firm enough to where it's not going to slip, but where you're not going to crush it. Pull up on one end of the wheel and just kind of smack it up on the other. That thing will just pop right off of there. So there's our little end cap, and with the DT free hubs there, from there you just slide it right straight off. There's a couple springs on each end, and then a couple little ratchet rings that engage onto each other. This particular free hub, or the hub and the free hub body and everything, was pretty clean. Looked like it had recently just been overhauled, so didn't really have to clean it up too much. Wiped it down a little bit, and so this is the rotor there, and it uses the same spline. Some of them will use a outer, like a bottom bracket style. You'd use the bottom bracket style tool, but this one uses the same cassette lock ring. So if it's internal, it'll use a cassette lock ring. If it's outer, it'll use basically the same one is used for like just the standard older Shimano outboard bearing. That same tool. If it's the that style of lock ring for the center mount style there. Just use the same method there to remove the non-drive side cap there once we get the rotor and everything off. So go ahead and put there's basically a long end cap that goes on the non-drive side and the shorter one. But upon looking at these, they look, I don't know, the new one might be just slightly longer, but they look pretty much the same to me. I think they were the same, because once I put the wheel back up in the bike, the rotor was sitting in the exact same spot. I didn't have to adjust the brake caliper, so that pretty much tells me it was the same. But yeah, either way, we went ahead and just switched it out because it came with the kit. So from here, we got our special DT grease there. We cleaned off all the pieces there. I'm just putting a nice good coat, film of grease there on the two ratchet wheels. You'll put them with the little notches there facing in with each other, and the two smooth sides will go outwards. And then there's two springs. You'll put basically it's kind of like a quick release, like on a quick release skewer, where the two small ends will face each other. So there's our XD driver, and so you can see the little teeth there where the ratchet ring engages. There's our spring. So yeah, we'll just drop that in, large end in with the small end facing out, and just slip the little ratchet ring into the teeth there and slip it over the axle, bearing over the axle there, and so it's engaging at this point. We'll just push our little end cap on there. That one's got a little smaller brim there, so it fits in that XD driver a little better, a little cleaner. So we'll pop that in place, and that's basically it as far as converting the free hub body there. Hub's ready to go, ready to bolt on our cassette. So with this the XD system here, basically you'll want to spin it just a little till you find where you're locked into your little spline there. There's no wide spline like on the Shimano. You just spin it a little till you find where it engages down in there, and then you'll turn your the tool engages right into the cassette there. So I think they have a little thread locking compound, so the last couple turns there get a little bit hard, but not a big deal. So we're gonna probably takes about 4 or 5 turns, I guess, total. Get that locked into your normal cassette lock ring. I think it's about 40 Newton meters or so, thereabouts. So yeah, that thing's set up and ready to go. Put our rotor back on. I'm just kind of going at a rapid pace here. We're a pretty high production shop, so you don't want to be touching that rotor there with your greasy fingers. You notice I just touched the inside edge there, so you don't want to be touching that brake surface at all, otherwise you gotta do some cleanup on that thing. So anyway, yeah, that's gonna conclude this video. Hopefully you found it interesting, and it's gonna do it for this time. Thanks for watching.